Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and I'm going to be creating a page in my everyday journal today. I have not worked in this journal in a while. As you can see, it was supposed to be for May and June, and here we are in the month of August. So as you know, I usually start out with a blank page, and I've already pulled some papers that I'm going to be using, hopefully use on this page. As you can see, that page has a pattern on the back, which I absolutely love those flowers. And I am going to be using a few of those at the end. I have not worked in this journal in a while, so it actually turned out better than I thought. I'm going to be telling a few stories on this page from when I went to California. And I also have some bits that I pulled there. I already have my pictures prepared, and I have some things. That little embellishment there was given to me by Lisa over at Lollipop Box Club, and I'm going to try my best to use it on this page, but it's just not going to happen. So first I'm going to start out by just gluing the paper down. This is what I usually do. Even though I start with a blank page, the reason I do that is because I like to determine what papers I'm going to use. And as you can see, I almost made a mistake and put that page upside down, but I quickly caught myself and I put it on the other side where it goes. So, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Both sides are going to have the same background. And this layout is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to keep this pretty simple because, to be quite honest, I'm really ready to move on to a new journal, but I'm going to push myself and try to finish up the pages that I have left in this one. I don't like to leave pages blank in my journal if I can help it at the end, but because I have not worked in this journal in a while, I do find that I'm quite behind and I'm ready to move on. There I have a picture of my son. I did get a chance to spend some time with my son when I was out there in California. And one of the days we went for breakfast at, lunch at Corner Bakery, which is one of my favorite little spots that I like to go for breakfast or lunch. And we just had a great time. And I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to position these things for this first story. I have a couple pictures of the storefront, and there's a picture of my son. And it was just a really nice time. Now, I decided to use that little file folder flip on the right-hand side. And this is where I'm going to put my first story. And we just had a wonderful time. Now, I suggest that if you have not worked in your journal in a while, push through. And that's what I'm actually doing on this page. I'm pushing through because I sort of have a little bit of I lost a little bit of mojo when it comes to working in my journal right now because I have not worked in my journal in a while. I was in California for 2 weeks, and then I came home and I went straight to Michigan for another week. And so I have not had any journaling time recently. And when I got home, I had a few things that I need to catch up on around the house. And there was just no time for sitting at my desk. And plus my craft room was sort of a mess. But, that picture there now, that was my very first lunch. When I got there, my friend Sandy and we went to an Argentinian restaurant. It was so delicious. That sandwich was so yummy. And I actually came home and replicated that sandwich, and my husband loved it. And I even cooked it for my brother and his family, and they loved it too. Now I'm starting to decorate the front of that little pocket there. I had a pattern paper that had some cut aparts on the back. And so I'm going to use some of those. And you can see that was one cut apart, but I didn't use that one. I used the flip side. But I am going to use some other cut aparts from that paper on this layout. And again, I'm just tearing. I'm not even using my scissors. I'm just tearing that paper down. It was just a little bit too big. And I'm just adding sort of a two-tone look to the front of this little folder here. So I love the way torn paper looks. I think it's just, one, it saves time. I don't, and it gives it that rough organic look. I don't like when everything is so straight when I'm working in my journal. So I do leave a few straight edges, but a lot of times I just tear my paper. And there I'm adding the pictures of the Corner Bakery storefront pictures. And I'm going to decorate this front of this little folder here. And like I said, I'm keeping this pretty simple. So that I can get to the end of this journal. And I'm going to add a little tag. I love that little tag there. The color is just perfect. but I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put it. And I'm going to add it right there to the top of that photo. That gives me my first little journaling spot. And then I'm going to add a little flower. I have a little yellow flower that I'm going to add to this front. But you're going to see later that that flower is going to be replaced with something else. So, but for now, it's there. And I didn't add too much glue, so it wasn't hard for me to pull it off and do something different. So I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to add it to the inside and add my son's picture. I try to, now that my kids are older, I try not to put too many of their pictures in my journal. And if I do, I add them to the inside. I try to hide them so that, they're not on full display. Although I don't think they really mind, but, just for privacy purposes and just for out of respect to them, I try not to add too many pictures in my journal. Now here, guys, sorry that the camera is turned. When I edited this video, I didn't realize that I had not turned this part of the video to the landscaping way. So it's in portrait mode. So I apologize for that, but it's going to change in just a second. I also have a notepad. I love notepads. Notepads are great for adding journaling spots. And here I took a really cute notepad page and I tore it down to add a few little journaling spots on this page. I'm going to use it in a couple different places. So, but for now, I'm just tearing down a piece that will fit so that I can write a little bit underneath that picture of my son. We had a great time. It was great conversation, just catching up with him, seeing how he's doing, just hearing, things that's going on with him. I wish I can get him to move to Georgia, but he really likes California, so I don't think that's going to happen. And here's another one of those cut apart from that page, and I'm just adding it to this other side to create some more journaling space. Like I said, I don't have a lot to write, but I want to give myself the option. And now I'm trying to use this embellishment that I received from Lisa, but to be quite honest, it's just not going to happen on this page. But you're going to see that I'm going to try a couple times because I really like it and I get ready to glue it. But then I realized that the back is also decorated. I forgot the back was decorated as well. And I don't want to glue it down and sacrifice one side or the other. So I'm going to put that to the side for now. I'm actually going to come back to it, but I'm going to put it to the side because I was thinking, how can I use this without gluing it down? Now here I have some little chevron pieces that I made from a stamp that I received in one of Lisa's kits. And sometimes I'll just sit and take that little stamp and I will take scrap paper and just stamp a bunch of those. I just love that little stamp. It just adds that little extra something. Sometimes you just need a little extra something. I'm trying to figure out where to put that third one. When you're working on a page, sometimes it's nice to do things in groups of threes because it just kind of pulls your eye around the page. And that's what these little chevrons, that's what it's doing right now for this page. And here I am again with that. I picked up that little embellishment. I want to use that so bad, but it's just not going to work. Now there is the bottom half of that notepad paper, and I'm creating another little journaling spot. I'm just extending that side just a little bit more. And I just think that little mushroom image looks so cute on that page. And I apologize that I'm not totally in frame, but you can see that little mushroom image there. And it just looks so cute on that page. And now I'm going to just work on the inside a little bit more. I have this little star that was just on my desk. I have a couple little trays on my desk with little bits and pieces, and that little star was there, and I just grabbed that and I put it next to the picture of my son in the inside there. And I have a little label I'm going to add at the top, creating another little journaling spot. And I'm going to glue it down, but I'm also going to decide to grab my stapler there because I thought, you know what, I need another little element on this page. And I love adding things that are stapled because that little metal just adds a little bit more interest to your page. So I'm going to staple that on as well. I know I glued it, but then I decided to staple it. So it's nice and secure now. And next here, I'm going to... I'm looking and seeing, and there I go again, picking up that embellishment. And I'm going to try it one more time to see if I can make it work. And I love it. I love the colors, but it's just not working for this page because I just don't want to, like I said, I don't want to sacrifice the backside of it. And it's just not working for this page, although I do absolutely love it. So I'm going to put it aside, and I'm going to have to save that for another time. And then I find this little, it's like a half piece of tag, and I use the other half for something else, but this little piece here, it was on the little tray on my desk, and so I decided to just tuck it there behind that little folder. And it looks really cute there. It just gives me another little spot to add a couple little things there. And I have that little flower. I'm trying to figure out where I can add that little flower, which I just absolutely love. It's going to get added to the page, but just not yet. There's another one of those cut aparts from the paper, the pattern paper. And I'm going to add that at the top. I should have made that a flip just to give myself a little extra space if I needed to, which I don't think I need to. So it turned out okay at the end. There's a couple pictures. Now that picture of me, there's a little story behind that picture. Everywhere I go when I travel, I always take one of my favorite mugs. And this time was perfect because my friend Sandy and I, we love having our coffee time in the mornings. And her yard is so beautiful. And every morning we got up early. We sat outside in the yard. We watered the plants. And we had coffee and breakfast outside. And we had a matching mug every day. Now, that little mug is a little mug that I picked up when she came to visit, and we went over for a day trip to Savannah, and we went to the Paula Deen store, and we picked up these little mugs that had chickens all around them. So absolutely adorable. And so I had to bring mine with me so that we would have those to match. And then she had other mugs that she had two of so that we can match mugs on different days. So that was really fun. It was just a simple thing, but it just brought me so much joy. And I have pictures of all of our mugs that we had in the morning outside. And so I'm going to add those actually to my coffee journal because those are kind of like little coffee dates with a friend that I enjoyed so much. So those are going to go in my coffee journal. But that little mug, I added that little picture there because I want to tell the story of how I travel with a mug everywhere I go. So there's a picture there I'm adding of my lunch. I had a grilled panini, turkey and cheese with a side Caesar salad, and it was so delicious. I think we both had the same thing. And then I'm just adding a couple more little details, places where I can add some journaling. And there I'm going to add that little flower. I did come back to that little flower. Now, sometimes what I'll do is, a lot of times I'll go through my stash and I'll pull things to my desk so that I'll have at least some things to start with. I may not use all those things, but at least it gives me a starting point. I'll have some things. And then I also found this little tab. And I'm going to add it to the side of that flip so that when someone looks at my journal or when I look at my journal, I know that there's something special behind that page. So I'm going to add that little flip there. And eventually I'm going to add a stamp date on that side. There are going to be a few things that I do to this page that's going to be done offline, but I'll have a picture at the end so that you can see. I'll come back. I do come back and show the journal at the end, the page. So now I'm going to add some washi tape. Washi tape is a great thing to use if you need to pull your page together. If you feel like your page is just not coming together, it doesn't feel cohesive, it just needs a little something, grab a washi tape. And if you add it to both sides of that page, it just has that effect of pulling things together. And I absolutely love it. It doesn't necessarily have to hold things down because we know that all washi tapes don't stick very well. So when I use washi tape, I either use my glue stick to hold it down better, or I use it more just as a decorative element, but it does help pull the page together. So I'm adding some washi tape to this page on both sides. I'm going to add a little bit there at the top, and that just does something for me. And I also, again, love the way those little chevrons are looking. Now you can see that I did take that little flower up, and I found that little circle piece that says "so much fun," and I swapped that out and I added it there. And I'm adding just a few things. I had a little a really small scrap piece of this little teal color gingham paper. And I'm just adding it in a few places, again, just to pull the page together a little bit more. I had just enough to add a couple pieces on one side and a couple pieces on the other side. It was just a small little piece that was on my little tray. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that. I try not to throw anything away if I can. A lot of times, for my little scraps, I will pull out my punches and I will punch little hearts or punch little stars just so that I can use as much of the paper as I can. But that little scrap was still hanging out on my desk, and I decided to use it. There's the last little piece there, and I just tucked it underneath that yellow piece, and I just think it just adds something to that page. So now I'm going to move on to this little strip here. I have that little basket that I keep little words in, and some of them are die cut pieces, some of them come from paper collections, some of them are downloads. This piece right here was from a free download from Lisa's Lollipop Box Club, and you can see that I cut it down. I was trying to make it work, but it was a little bit too big. Don't be afraid to cut things down, whether it's a die cut piece or something that you cut from a magazine. Cut it down to fit so that it works for you. Okay. So that's exactly what I did. I cut it down and it says, be happy, be bright, be you. And I just love that. And it's actually really fitting for the paper, for the picture that I have on that side of myself. So there is my final page, guys. You can see where I went back and I cut out some of those flowers from the back side of that paper. I added my journaling, and I think it just turned out so cute. If you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you will know when I upload another video. And I just love the way this turned out. And thank you guys so much for watching.